Hi, I'm Shawn Banks and welcome to another episode of Extension Gardener on the Crystal Coast. Today what I want to do is I want to show you some pruning of large limbs, but let me give you a little bit of information first on pruning. For small limbs like this one right here that are 1/2 inch or less, a pair of hand pruners works really well and you can just cut those right off. If you have larger limbs that are 1/2 inch to 1 inch, you want to use a pair of loppers. And those work really well for cutting the larger limbs. Okay, for bigger limbs that you can't quite get those loppers around, or if you can get them around, sometimes they're just really hard to cut, you can use a pruning saw. Now, a lot of times these pruning saws are really good. The hunters use them quite frequently, and you just cut the limb off. It works really well. Today we're going to use a different saw. We're going to use a larger saw, but I want to give you a little bit more information first. When we're cutting these smaller limbs, like this one right here, what we would want to do is just cut right along this bark ridge right here, or just outside of this bark ridge. And we'll do the same thing for the larger limbs. But on the larger limb, we're going to do a 3-part cut. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut, the first cut is going to be out here underneath about 1/4 of the way up. And then we'll come out just a little bit further and cut through. That'll allow the weight of this branch to fall down and it'll break off at this point right here instead of tearing all the bark all the way down the branch of the tree. The third cut we'll make will be back at the trunk just outside of the bark ridge, and we'll cut it flush, not to the trunk, but flush to that bark ridge. That'll allow that bark ridge to heal over that wound a lot quicker and give us a really nice looking cut at the end when we're finished. All right, so let's get a little bit closer up and we'll show you how that's done. So we'll make that first cut from underneath about 1/4 of the way up. We'll make that second cut just outside of that one, come from the top down. And then this third cut, we're going to do right outside of this branch bark ridge so that it'll heal up really quick. And you can still see that ridge right there. And so this will heal up, that part's what's going to grow back up over the top. Okay, and now we've seen how we can remove these larger limbs and do it safely without damaging the tree. Okay, until next time, happy gardening.